Hey guys, I'm turning on the light, not trying to get right up on top of things. So I got a little bit of feedback about um, working with color and layering color, and one of the objectives in this is learning how to layer color to best effect to get the look that you're trying to achieve. So one of the things that I'll do specifically with my markers is I will basically pick three that are tones or like in the same color family. So here I have like a cream, a goldenrod, and a terracotta. Now you guys can use whatever you want. That's fine. Don't think you have to have these specific ones. You don't. Um, and the other thing sometimes is I'll layer pencils on top, but I was just going to do a quick demo to illustrate this point to you guys. So let me do this real quick so you can see my drawing. All right, so I just have a little chair right here. And usually what I'll do is you got to think in terms of, for example, where your shade and shadow is. So like down here, you're going to have shadow, right? And up here, like let's say a lot of times I have my light coming from my upper right-hand side. That's just my preference. So I'm going to say, okay, my light is coming from here. All right. So if that's the case, what I would do is this right here would probably be my lightest location because the light's coming from this way. So this is going to be the lightest spot. So I'd come in and I'd wind up just kind of layering this on. Notice I'm following the lines of the chair itself. Okay. The other thing is you have to remember this little pillow that's right here, that's actually going to cast a bit of a shadow. So, and then when it starts going around a corner like this is a little bit more shaded down here. You can do a crosshatch method also if you don't want it super defined, like the markings of the marker. If you don't like that, that's fine. So back here, back behind is going to be shadow. Towards the crease will be shadow as well. See that? I have to move my hand so you can actually see what I'm doing. Got to figure out a way of putting my camera on my left side. Okay, up here, because the light's coming from up above, that would be the lightest spot, but I'm still going to have a little bit back over here and then towards the back. Notice how quickly I'm working. I'm not making myself crazy with it. Then I can come back and I can start to add layers. But notice I'm letting some of the paper still, I'm not trying to render every single little thing. I'm letting the paper still be evident. Okay. And I might actually do this a little bit more. Just blend it a little bit more. And I can come back with my darkest color and I just keep layering it right on top. Okay. Now, one of the things that I like to do, especially on copy paper, because copy paper, my blender like this doesn't work particularly well on copy paper. It works great on vellum and it works great on tracing paper, but on copy paper, not particularly. So what I like to do is I'll come back in with the tone that I'm working with my colored pencils. So, and basically I'm going to use this in a sense as a blender. So I'm going to take this. And I'm adding quite a bit of pressure over time. I'm layering on the pigment, and then I'm adding a significant amount of pressure as I go to kind of make this blend. Now, what I can do then is I can take that. This is the colorless blender you have in your kit, all right? So you could take this and run it across, and all those different marks, it actually helps it's not going to work so much with the marker. This is why you do the pencil on top. But it starts to fill in what's called the tooth of the paper. And it'll take this and it'll start to blend it really nicely for you, so it doesn't look quite so choppy. And that's how you start to get that shade and shadow and layered effect. So the whole idea between about specifically rendering, it isn't using, you know, black to create shadow, or a really stark color to create shadow. It's actually you're layering color. Because when you're looking at shade and shadow, like this bowl right here, for example, if I was going to render this bowl, what I would do, see this right here? That would be white. I would use a base color of yellow, and then I would start building up some bronze. I might layer some warm gray on top of that. And then I would probably use some burnt umber or a brown of some sort down through here. So it's actually layering of tonal colors, just like a paint swatch. When you're looking at a paint swatch from the store and it's the layering of colors on that, that's actually what you're going to use, that same kind of theory when you are rendering something all of one color, is those different levels. And that's how you indicate shade and shadow. You let your paper shine, or paper come through for the very lightest spots, and then you start to layer up everything else. Now, another tip that I like to do is I will actually come back like this right here. I would probably do a little scribble like that, and I would look at what colors I used. Like this one right here is peach. So I would go ahead and write peach, and the other ones are cream, goldenrod, and then terracotta. You can always do this on the back of the paper as well. But that way, if I'm experimenting with colors and I'm trying to, and I do something and maybe I like the effect, I know I can go back and I can see what it is I did. So that's just one of the little cheats I use. I actually have some drawings over here. Give me 1 second. I know one of these I actually have key. This is what's called a key, okay? So like this one right here, this drawing, if you flip it over, you could see on the back of it, I created a key. So that way I could come back and I knew what different shades I used to get the effect. All right. So same thing here. So that way I can go, hey, I kind of liked how this turned out. I can go back to it. I can look at it again. And, you know, if I'm doing another drawing, I can look at some of my previous drawings and figure out what was successful and what wasn't. I hope this little tutorial helps you guys. If you need help, just let me know.